Boom.
It's our own music in our heads. Welcome back to the Marketing Qualified Rundown. Happy Friday, Miss Sweetest Fish.
Happy Friday. I'm kind of scared to move around too much this time.
I know. Yeah, last time we had a malfunction, green screen malfunction, to be clear.
Oh no, it was more like a Miss Swedish Fish malfunction. Nothing wrong with the screen.
All right, well, we have two great topics today, 3 helpful charts for marketers, and then the secret to great hooks. Now, hooks are great unless you are Captain Hook, where you lost your hand. That's not so good, and Peter Pan ruled, but that's not what we're going to talk about today. So we're going to jump right into charts, which normally you'd think charts on a Friday, kind of boring.
No, but these are fun. These are fun. Let's do it.
All right.
Okay. If any of you watching, if you've seen the Pixar movie Inside Out, you may have seen this before. It's such a brilliant chart to talk about how great marketers actually go beyond basic emotions. So when you kind of combine these emotions is when you can market on a deeper level. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think a lot of people they're very, I would say, single tracked on their thinking about this, but I mean all these emotions, right? Joy, sadness, disgust, fear, anger, all these things. I mean, at the end of the day, marketing's job is to stimulate something, right? That's our goal. And so it depends on what it is. I mean, you can use a lot of different emotions to try to get people's attention. So I think even in the B2B space, don't just presume that there's only one emotion to focus on.
And what are some examples here of like ads? Can you think of any where you actually use both?
Yeah, I mean, I think fear, especially in the tech space, we use the term FUD, right? Fear, uncertainty, and doubt. I think fear is used a lot in the cybersecurity space. You can pick any random manufacturer or managed service provider, VAR. They typically use FUD or fear, talking about the risks of cybersecurity, what's going to happen, the world's going to end. Not that that's actually wrong. I mean, there's obviously, you should fear getting breached and having your data out there. But I think that's probably an overwhelming emotion that is used versus joy.
Mm-hmm.
It's
but
not
I think,
quite
like the chart says, like the combination of joy and fear, creating excitement. I thought about that in product launches, that you look at technology, like advancements of something. So you get innovation, but also you can, which is exciting, joy, but then the fear of missing out again if you're not jumping on that wagon, like AI. Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think, I mean, joy is often used in a use case or a case study example where this is the customer scenario, like, oh wow, this technology did this. I was able to use this Wi-Fi service to be able to access all this and save me time, money, or manufacturing. I was able to reduce costs, right? So there's joy there in that piece of it. But I feel like that's more on a more applicable case study use case example.
Oh, and resentment, like what was that? Sadness and anger, right?
Yeah.
Frustration in businesses, like using outcomes or outdated systems.
Yeah, outdated systems. Yeah. I think that's also, I mean, what's interesting, and this is less on the B2B side, but more, I've seen this a lot on the HR side of the house, is they use, I mean, hostility, they use, they'll use hostility and disdain and excitement, all these things together, because when you're dealing with people, you have a mixture of emotions. So how do you try to help provide services to combat that, I think is also another element. So you're right. At the end of the day, emotions, very key in understanding all of these things. So chart number 1.
Yes, chart number 1. Chart number 2, fix your marketing. I actually had to think when I read through this chart here, I'm like, wait, boring. Are we not doing insight? But now it makes sense. So it's talking about how the elements listed to the left, it's basically good marketing. No,
yeah.
wait.
Well, yeah, I think, I mean, there's 5 things that make good marketing, right? Insight, strategy, objectives, goals, and tactics. It is not rocket science, despite what any agency or any person tells you, or CMO. It is like, these are the elements that do make up great marketing. The I guess special sauce is, how do you use them? How do you put them all together? And obviously, if it's boring, you're not very insightful. If you're unpredictable, you have no strategy. If you're siloed, you have no objectives. If you're wasteful, you have no goals. And if you're slow, you have shitty tactics. So that's pretty, it's pretty, I mean, this table is it's a great cut through the BS. Look at this, super, super helpful, I think, at a 1,000-foot level.
Yeah, no, just assess your marketing. You just need to know, like, to be good enough or honest enough to say that it's boring. Like what we're doing right now is boring.
Yeah, I think that the hardest part is for marketers, because I think, we also like what we do typically. If you look at this, it's really hard to say the work you're doing, questioning, is it boring? Is it unpredictable? Is it siloed? So you have to be, I would even suggest, ask somebody else. Ask the sales team, ask the finance team, ask the operations team, ask somebody else, because you may be drinking your Kool-Aid too much and you may not be able to see the forest for the trees.
And honestly, a lot of marketing is boring. It
is.
Be more fun.
Be more fun. Bring some joy.
Please. Another chart.
This one's a little harder. This one's a little tougher.
Oh, it's a little bit tiny. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
This is like a content chart telling you if you don't know where to begin, where to focus, you can basically lean into this chart before you start creating new content.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's somewhat common sense, right? On the easy side of the house, there's social media, how-tos. That's really more on the conversion angle versus the growth angle, where you're really focusing in on thought leadership, checklists, featured posts, things that are going to provide insight and value to the people you're talking about. And then as you go upstream, where it's much more difficult, and this is where I think AI is going to be wonderful, and it is wonderful and helps people a lot to be able to do niche work and more content faster with lead campaigns, case studies, use cases, product stuff. Like that's all good, but it's just hard. It's harder and it takes more time.
Yeah. Content is time consuming. Good content.
Good content.
Yeah, the easy stuff, the social media, not necessarily that much. So yeah, it makes sense, but straightforward.
All right. So those are 3 charts, and take a look at them on the newsletter. They are good things just to even print out, have there, just to keep top of mind as a marketer. So, all right. On to the hook.
Wait, we're doing the hook now?
The great hooks. The secret to great hooks.
What is the secret to great hooks?
The secret. What's funny is the secret to me is it's the first topic and the second topic obviously very well connected. So the secret to great hooks is getting straight to the point. And so we've got some really great examples here that
cut the fluff.
Cut the fluff, cut the BS, right? I mean, this is from Chipotle. I mean, very clever. They're not obviously an original in doing this kind of advertising, but again, they're leveraging, it's clever. Our ingredients are better. A little bit more, it is emotional, it's direct, it's to the point, but it has a little stuff around it to play with. So I think
it's brilliant. It's so simple, but so good.
Yeah.
This one is pretty good too.
Yeah, this one's awesome. And I think we've said this before in multiple reviews, is that there's so much clutter out there, so much noise. Mm-hmm. The point of breaking through the clutter and getting straight to the point is even more important today in both B2B and B2C and everywhere than it ever was. So, I mean, take it for what it worth.
I think a lot of people just overthink it sometimes. They just
complicate
shit. Is it just? I mean, we do it too sometimes. I can call. I've called us out a few times. Like we're just trying to sound so.
You can overthink it. You can totally overthink it. So this one, I saw this yesterday. You and I were talking about this. I actually think this is getting straight to the point, but I think this sums up both the charts of emotion and getting straight to the point, which is, this is from Marketing Mentor. If your marketing doesn't make someone smile, cringe, or question their life choices, try harder. Which is what every marketer should be thinking to themselves, that our job is to do this. And sometimes it's going to piss people off, and sometimes it's going to make them question things. Sometimes it's going to bring joy. That's okay. That's our job to do. We just have to be clear on what's our goal, so we're not all over the place.
But this is also saying that it's like evoking some sort of emotional response to like whoever you're targeting. So yeah, that I think it's always good to reverse engineer that when you're putting any sort of marketing material together. Like, what am I trying to get out of this? What do I want the other person to feel? This is behavioral science too. Like, what what are we trying to make them feel?
Yeah, and it's tough. I think, a lot of companies, especially in the technology space, are very product centric.
Yeah.
And they have really smart people that understand technology, understand products and services and how it works. But those people typically are not what I would consider, like, they're not looking at it from an emotional perspective. They're looking at it from an efficiency perspective and a value perspective. And in order to grow and have growth, you have to combine those two, which requires, from a marketing perspective, everybody's got to come to the middle ground and be able to have those conversations to really understand, no matter what it is, whether it's social media, it's video scripts, cold email, landing page headlines, all these things, we have to, at the end of the day, think about the customer, think about who's buying, what emotion we want to get out of them.
Agreed. Okay, we're done with that one. Is that it?
That's it.
Oh, no. Favorite part of the day. Favorite part of the day.
I've done this. I've done head in hand, not with the crayon, but head in hand.
I mean, I do that a lot. Probably daily sometimes. And it's not just about data. It could be a lot of other things.
Yeah, it's amazing. As much as technology as we have, and everybody claims that it makes it easier, we still seem to be having spreadsheets, trying to upload to different things. I
mean, let ChatGPT help you analyze. It will definitely give you a little bit less headache. Not that it's all 100%, but
no. All right. Well, I think that's it for the rundown today.
That is it for the rundown. If you are not yet subscribed, you head over to marketingqualified.co for weekly updates on B2B marketing.
And if you're in the channel and you deal with partners, and you're interested in learning more about how you can help your partner ecosystem, check out Partner Science, which is where?
Partnerscience.tech.
All right.
That's it for the day.
Have a great weekend, and we will see you next week.
Thank you, and bye.